Hey Addicts, I'm Josh.
I'm Michael.
And today, you're going to die over this issue review.
Yeah, I was reading this because this is a pretty short series, and Josh was like, you can read this or you can die. And I was like, I guess I'll die, so that's what he did, and I died 3 times, and I read this, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
This is issue number 1, specifically.
Yeah, this is a series that is kind of like a mixture between like an action series and like a spy espionage, I guess you could say. It's kind of like a 007, I guess you could say, but maybe more action and less, before I kill you, Mr. Bond.
Yeah.
So,
more death.
Yeah, and we get to see the issue open up with a character named Paul, who we just assume he's the special agent that is going to be featured in this. And so we see events transpire where he is at an event, he sees people tailing him, he goes, and people end up capturing him, and a person that he is in contact with, named Connie, sends people to go and rescue him.
Yeah, so it's a pretty simple plot for issue 1. You have actually some fairly good action scenes in this one. There's one involving a car that's bulletproof, kind of like an old army vehicle. And then there's one scene at a dog racing, I guess, that was pretty great.
Yeah, in this issue, it starts off with the action pretty, I guess, rapid, or that's not the word I want to use, but pretty soon, yeah. Because you just open up to it, seemingly. And then it kind of goes in, so it gives you like a peek of what the action is going to be like in this series, but then it goes more into like just showing you how everything works, like the corporation side of it, I guess, because it doesn't really specify, but we're assuming it's a branch of the military. Or
secret
some
government branch?
Secret.
I don't know if that description's in the first or the second issue, but
I don't know. You'll find out soon enough, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we get a little bit more of the peak. I guess. Do you want to go into characters talking about them?
Sure. I don't know any of their names, but
well, then maybe I should.
You probably should do that.
So, like I said, the main guy that we see is Paul. He's the one that we are opened up to. Later, we get to see the person that is technically his boss, who is Connie. She's referred to as a senator.
Weirdo.
Yeah, she's a real weirdo. But there's, I guess you can seemingly that she is a person that wants, like, she's in a position to where she has to do like a bunch of things that she doesn't really want to. But her main thing is like, I want to clean up the world and make sure like the bad people get eradicated.
Yeah.
And so we also see like another agent that is called Nate, who I guess is somewhat of a coworker of Paul, and he is one of the people that she enlists to help rescue Paul. But she also has Nate go and get John, who we figure out at the very end of the issue is Paul's brother. And I won't say what type of brother he is, but
you get to see more about that.
Yeah.
And the sign with John, the scene with John, is interesting because it's very reminiscent of, I think there's even like a Key and Peele Comedy Central sketch about this.
Oh.
About going and like, we need you. It's a secret mission. But if you've seen that sketch, it's pretty great. But yeah, it's kind of that kind of traditional scene where he's out in the forest, hunting animals and killing them.
And I'll just say Nate is probably the most entertaining
in
this issue, just because of what he says. I love the back and forth he has with the pilot when he's getting traveled to this area, and then like the last regards he says to her is pretty great. And then his interaction with John is pretty great. He's like, why on earth would I be here just to get my head blown off when I could have easily gone to any other like thousands of enemies that I have on my head, where they would have done it for a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty interesting series. It's a way to open it up. It opens up pretty interesting. I liked the themes in general, and I liked the characters. The dialogue in this one is pretty good, pretty entertaining, and it is pretty graphic. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's pretty graphic.
It is behind the same creative mind as Invincible and The Walking Dead, so hence its violence.
Yeah, there's some scenes that I won't even spoil, but they're pretty intense. Pretty intense spy crap.
It makes you cringe a little bit, and not in like that it's bad or anything, but it's just like in pain. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. So what would be your recommendation for this one?
For me, I think this is a good issue. I think it's a great opener to a series. I would say if you guys are wanting to check out a new series, especially if you're a fan of action or like espionage stuff, I would recommend this. I think it's an issue that you might have. I mean, you know, when you read comics, it's kind of bad because you have to wait a month for one issue. But I think there's enough substance here, and it's entertaining enough that I think this is worth picking up, reading the first issue, so that you can, you know, at least read the second issue that's out already. And I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah, pretty similar in my opinion. This genre is kind of interesting for me because I haven't read that many comics that are espionage based, or more action based. But this is a similar, not as similar to other action comics that I've read. But I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good series to pick up. You can tell the tone from this issue if you're going to like it or not. So
I would say that's accurate. And we'll go ahead and shut up so we can keep this short, because we will have a review out for issue 2 very soon after this one releases, because we're recording it the same day. So you'll notice from our clothes. But
you've given away the secret.
The secret? Oh, it's like nobody's already gone up on that.
Anyway, so let us know if you like this style of content. We'll probably be doing issue by issue for this particular series because it's pretty new.
Yeah, like the second issue, I think, just dropped like a couple weeks ago in terms of this recording.
You've dated this video now as well. I like it.
But yeah, we might as well. We're already
all right. Well, this has been Addict Informative. We've got a bunch of content on the channel, a bunch of new comic stuff coming out. We recently will have uploaded Invincible, so that's something you could check out as well. And this series, other series coming on the channel, and then we also have traditional light novel and movies and video games and TV shows and everything. So check all those videos out, and peace out, addicts.
Peace.